Next year, in 2023, I think we're going to look back at May 2022 and say this was the month that the tech layoff season started.
Let's get back to work.
Get back to work.
America is back to work.
Thanks for visiting my channel. I'm April, a tech recruiter, and I'm going to talk about the May layoffs. I have all the numbers organized so that we can see what companies are laying off and the percentage of employees they laid off from the company. I'm obviously recording this video in June. It's a little late, but better than never. So I've organized all these companies into their special economic category, what kind of company they are. So let's get started. Doma Finance laid off 15% of their employees. That's 310 employees out of 2,066. This is a real estate fintech company. Main Street Finance, a small business finance company, laid off 30% of their staff. That's 45 people. CommonBond, an affordable housing nonprofit, laid off 36% of their staff, 22 people. PayPal Finance, everyone knows what that is, laid off 0.02% of their staff. That's 83 people. The Zebra Finance, a home and auto insurance comparison site, laid off 12% of the staff, or 40 people. Bolt Finance, an e-com merchant platform, laid off 20% of their staff, or 240 people. Vise Finance laid off 25% of its staff, 25 people. This is a finance company specializing in data and AI investments. Thrasio, I hope that's how you say it, laid off an undisclosed number of employees. This is an Amazon seller acquisition company. BizPay, buy now, pay later investment company, laid off 30% of its staff, or 31 people. IdeoClick, an e-commerce tool suite, laid off 32% of its staff, or 40 people. Zulily, an e-commerce website, laid off 8% of its staff, or 100 people. Cameo, a personalized video app company, laid off 25% of its staff, or 87 employees. Picsart, I've heard of that one. Photo editing startup, 8% of the staff, or 90 people. Skillz, I've worked with Skillz. They pay a lot of money in recruiting fees. They laid off 10% of their staff, or 70 people. Reef Transportation also uses recruiters. Laid off 5% of their staff, or 750 people. They are the largest owner of delivery kitchens, food logistics, and proximity hubs in the US. So delivery food is getting less popular. Vroom Transportation. This is a Bezos-owned autonomous car company. Laid off 14% of its staff, or 270 people. Carvana, the place where you buy, sell, and finance cars online, laid off 12% of its staff, or 2,500 people. On Deck, which calls themselves an education company, but it seems like a professional networking site, laid off 25% of its staff, or 599 people. Section 4, also an education startup for upskilling, laid off 21% of its staff, or 32 people. Bookclub, a social platform for book readers, laid off 25% of their staff, or 12 people. Dividos, a full-service online pharmacy, laid off 20% of their staff, or 62 people. 30 Madison, a healthcare company for the chronically ill, laid off 8% of its staff, or 24 people. Latch, a full building operating system. They call themselves a security company. They laid off 6% of their staff, or 30 people. And then it seems like they again laid off 28% of their staff, or 130 people. Lacework, another cybersecurity site, laid off 20% of its staff, or 300 employers. Subspace, cybersecurity platform, laid off 100% of its 96 employees. Replicated, an enterprise software build and deliver company, laid off 44% of its staff, or about 50 people. Netflix, I think we all know Netflix, laid off 1% of its staff, or 150 people. Outside Media, it's an outdoor advertising company. Clever name, I think, but still confusing. They laid off 15% of their staff, or 87 people. Mural, which is a whiteboard-like digital environment for teams, laid off 10% of its staff, or 97 people. Colossus, of all industries, a climate change company, is laying off 48% of its staff, or 97 employees. Data Robot, who is democratizing the access of data, has laid off 7% of its employees, or 70 people. Swift Fitness, a cycling app, laid off 150 people, or 22% of the employees. PeerStreet, A real estate lending company laid off 29% of its staff, or 75 people. Terminus, which is a marketing pipeline management platform, a marketing company, 15% of its staff, or 56 people. Akerna, a cannabis funding and logistics company, laid off their staff, but they didn't tell us how many. They did mention that some employees had a 25% reduction on their salary. ClickUp, a company for startups to become companies, laid off 7% of its staff, or 60 people. So in total for the month of May, not including those companies that did not disclose the number of employees they laid off, which I find kind of weird, but we have 6,997 people laid off in the month of May. The average comes to 20.5% of employees at any given company were laid off. That's a pretty big number, but let's look at the industry numbers. 7 logistics company, you know how shipping has been difficult and everything's been backed up, logistics. 7 consumer goods company, like how Target has a ton of inventory, they are marking down to sell and move quickly. 6 e-com companies, which is ironic because e-com went crazy in 2020. 4 real estate companies, and these real estate companies are specific to tech. That's not 4 real estate companies in general. 3 social media-like apps, which is kind of showing the trend that people are over social media. And 3 funding or lending platforms, which is ironic because it seems like a lot of people have been taking out loans. But that is the list for May. I have a list for June that's coming out. I'm cutting June in half. Tons of layoffs in June, so please subscribe to this channel so you can see the June video come out. I have a video coming up explaining why I think employment is going to boom due to the real estate industry. So please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on that video. Thanks for watching. Share this with your friends who are in tech, who have been laid off or are afraid. Maybe they can find some patterns that I didn't see, and I'll see you in the next video.